It was supposed to be my special day. My 26th birthday. I had planned everything weeks before: a simple dinner at my apartment with my closest friends, some music, homemade cupcakes, and the people I loved the most. I wanted to keep it small because honestly, I never liked huge parties. I just wanted to feel loved, appreciated, and remembered. But as I was setting the candles on the cake, arranging the pizza boxes on the table, and making sure the couch was clean, I heard the doorbell ring. I smiled, thinking it was her, my best friend Mia, the first to arrive, as always. When I opened the door, she was standing there, looking pretty in her denim dress. But beside her was a tall guy with sharp features, wearing a black shirt and ripped jeans. I looked at him, confused. Mia just laughed lightly and said, "Oh, this is Josh. Someone I'm exploring options with." She used her fingers to quote those words and giggled. I forced a smile and greeted him. Deep inside, it felt strange. Why would she bring her Tinder date to my birthday without even telling me first? Throughout dinner, I tried to focus on my other friends. But every time I glanced at Mia and Josh, I felt something twist inside my chest. They were whispering, laughing at their private jokes, and acting like no one else existed. My birthday cake sat untouched on the table while I watched them from across the room. I kept wondering, was I overreacting? Or was there something deeper behind Mia's actions that day? Little did I know, what started as an awkward dinner would end up revealing secrets that would break my heart in ways I never imagined. After everyone finished their dinner, I started handing out the cupcakes one by one. Mia and Josh were still sitting close together, their shoulders almost touching. Josh thanked me softly when I gave him his cupcake, but he didn't really look at me. Mia, on the other hand, didn't even notice. She was busy showing him something on her phone, probably their old chats or memes they shared. I tried to ignore it, but my chest felt heavy. I went back to the kitchen to get the drinks. As I was pouring Coke into the plastic cups, I remembered how Mia and I met in college. She was the one who sat beside me on the first day of class, the one who shared her chips with me when I forgot my lunch, the one who stayed up all night helping me study for my chemistry exam. For the last 6 years, she was my closest friend, my safe place. We promised each other we would always be there, no matter what. But that night, I felt like an outsider at my own party. When I returned to the living room, my other friends were dancing to some upbeat song playing on the Bluetooth speaker. But Mia and Josh were gone. I quickly looked around. The bathroom door was open, and they weren't on the balcony. My chest tightened. Where did they go? I walked towards my bedroom and saw the door slightly closed. I paused, my hand trembling as I pushed it open. Inside, Mia and Josh were sitting on my bed, whispering. They both looked at me when I entered, their expressions unreadable. Mia laughed awkwardly and said, "We just wanted some quiet. It's too loud out there." I nodded, pretending it didn't bother me. But questions kept spinning in my mind. Why would she bring a stranger to my party and sit in my room with him while everyone else was outside? Was this her way of showing me she had moved on from our friendship? Or was she hiding something else from me? As the night continued, I couldn't focus on anything. My other friends kept singing, taking selfies, and posting stories, while I sat in a corner, staring at Mia and Josh from afar. Every smile she gave him felt like a small betrayal. Every time he whispered something in her ear, I felt like screaming. I didn't understand what was happening, but I knew one thing: after that night, my friendship with Mia would never be the same. And deep down, I feared the secret they were hiding would hurt me more than I could ever imagine. The party ended around midnight. One by one, my friends left after hugging me and wishing me again. Mia stayed back to help me clean, but Josh didn't leave. He just sat on the couch, scrolling through his phone, completely ignoring the mess around him. As I picked up empty cups and pizza crusts from the table, I kept glancing at him. Something about his presence made me uneasy. He barely spoke the whole night except to Mia, and even then, his tone was flat and distant, like he wasn't trying to impress her but just existing beside her. When I went to throw the garbage bag outside, I stood alone in the corridor for a minute, breathing deeply. The cool night air felt good on my face. I thought about how Mia used to stay back after every party and we would talk for hours, laughing about random things until the sun came up. But tonight she was different. She barely looked at me properly. It was like Josh had become her world in just a few days. As I entered again, I heard them whispering. I couldn't hear clearly, but Mia sounded tense. "Please, not now," she said softly. Josh replied, his voice low and rough. "You promised me, Mia." I froze near the door, holding my breath. Promised him what? I wanted to ask, but my throat felt tight. When they noticed me, Mia quickly changed her tone and smiled. "Hey, we were thinking to leave now. You're tired anyway." I nodded, forcing a smile. As they got up to leave, Josh turned and looked at me properly for the first time. His eyes were cold, almost calculating, and it sent chills down my spine. Mia hugged me tightly before leaving. "Happy birthday again," she whispered. I felt her grip tighten as if she wanted to say something else but stopped herself. Then they left, leaving my apartment feeling emptier than ever. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about their conversation. What was Mia hiding? Who really was Josh? My phone buzzed with birthday wishes from people who couldn't come, but I didn't feel happy reading them. I felt alone. Around 3 a.m., I checked Mia's Instagram. She had posted a story of them together at my party with a heart emoji. I stared at it for a long time, feeling tears build up in my eyes. The next morning, I decided to call her. I needed answers. But before I could dial her number, I saw a message notification pop up on my screen. It wasn't from Mia. It was from Josh. My hands trembled as I opened it. All it said was, "We need to talk. Alone." My heart pounded in my chest. Why would he want to talk to me alone? What did he want to say that Mia couldn't hear? At that moment, I realized whatever secret they were keeping, it was about to change everything in my life. My fingers felt numb as I stared at Josh's message. "We need to talk. Alone." I read it again and again, wondering what he wanted from me. My chest felt tight. I didn't reply immediately. Instead, I spent the morning cleaning the leftover mess from last night's party, trying to calm my nerves. But no matter how hard I tried to distract myself, his message kept echoing in my mind. By afternoon, curiosity took over my fear. I replied with just one word. "When?" Within seconds, he texted back. "Today. 4 p.m. Coffee house near your apartment." My stomach twisted. Why would Mia's Tinder date want to meet me alone? Was he planning to tell me something about Mia? Or was he hiding something even from her? At exactly 3:55 p.m., I reached the coffee house. My heart was beating so fast I thought I would faint. I spotted him sitting at a corner table, wearing a dark gray hoodie. He looked up and nodded slightly as I approached. I sat down opposite him, my hands trembling under the table. For a moment, he didn't say anything. He just stared at me with those cold, unreadable eyes. Finally, he leaned forward and said, "I'm sorry for coming to your party uninvited. Mia insisted I come." I nodded, confused. That couldn't be the reason he called me here. He took a deep breath and continued, "But I need to tell you something about Mia. Something important. And before you ask, yes, she has no idea I'm meeting you." My throat felt dry. I asked him softly, "What is it? Is she okay?" He let out a short laugh, but there was no humor in it. "She's fine. But you won't be after knowing the truth." My heart dropped. He looked around, making sure no one was listening, then said in a low voice, "She's not who you think she is. The reason I'm with her, it's complicated. She didn't tell you how we actually met, did she?" I shook my head slowly. He continued, his eyes locked onto mine. "We met on Tinder, yes, but she wasn't looking for love. She was looking for a way out of something. And she dragged me into it." I tried to speak, but my lips wouldn't move. My mind was spinning with questions. What way out? What was he talking about? He leaned even closer, his face inches from mine, and whispered, "There are people looking for her. Dangerous people. And now that I've been with her, they'll come after me too. But the problem is, they know about you as well." My chest tightened as fear rose inside me. I looked into his eyes, searching for any sign that this was a joke, but his face was hard and serious. Before I could ask anything else, he stood up abruptly and said, "I'll text you everything tonight. Don't tell Mia about this. Please." Then he left, leaving me sitting there, frozen, with my coffee turning cold in front of me and my mind screaming with fear and confusion. I sat in that coffee shop long after Josh left, staring blankly at the street outside. His words kept echoing in my head. Dangerous people. Looking for Mia. Looking for me. I felt like I couldn't breathe. My phone buzzed suddenly, pulling me out of my daze. It was a message from Mia. "Hey, where are you? I was thinking we could have dinner tonight. Just us. I miss you." My fingers shook as I read it. I didn't know how to reply. Did she really miss me, or was this some part of the mess Josh was talking about? I walked home, feeling every sound behind me like a threat. Every passing biker, every stranger's glance made my heart pound harder. When I reached my apartment, I locked the door and checked every window, making sure no one was outside watching me. Then I sat on the couch, hugging my knees to my chest, waiting for Josh's text. Hours passed, but there was nothing. Around midnight, I couldn't keep my eyes open anymore. I fell asleep right there, on the couch, my phone clutched tightly in my hand. I woke up to the sound of my phone vibrating. It was 2:37 a.m. My heart jumped as I saw Josh's name on the screen. The message was short but enough to send chills down my spine. "They found me. Don't trust anyone. Not even Mia." My hands went cold. I quickly typed back, asking where he was, what happened, but there was no reply. I kept staring at the screen, tears filling my eyes. Suddenly, my phone buzzed again. This time it was a video message from an unknown number. I hesitated for a second before opening it. The screen showed Josh tied to a chair, his face bruised, blood dripping from his nose. Behind him stood two men in black hoodies. One of them stepped forward, looked straight into the camera, and said, "Stay out of this. This doesn't concern you. But if you try to help him, you're next." My body froze. I wanted to scream, but no sound came out. Tears rolled down my face as I watched Josh struggle against the ropes, trying to say something, but his mouth was taped shut. The video ended with the man leaning closer to the camera, his dark eyes burning into mine as he whispered, "We know where you live." My whole body trembled. I sat there, alone in my dark living room, feeling like the walls were closing in on me. My best friend, Mia, the person I trusted the most, was somehow part of this nightmare. And now, I was trapped in it too, with no idea how to escape or who to trust anymore. My hands wouldn't stop shaking as I watched the video again. Every part of me screamed to call the police, but something in Josh's last message stopped me. Don't trust anyone. Not even Mia. I sat there in the dark, staring at my phone, when suddenly there was a loud knock on my door. My heart almost stopped. I didn't move. The knocking came again, louder this time. "Hey, it's me," Mia's voice called out softly from the other side. I stayed silent, trying to control my breathing. She knocked again. "I know you're awake. Please open the door." Slowly, I stood up and walked to the door, my body trembling. Through the peephole, I saw her standing there with a sad smile, holding 2 cups of coffee in her hands. I hesitated, then opened the door a little. She looked tired, her eyes puffy like she had been crying. "Can I come in?" she asked gently. I stepped aside, and she walked in, placing the coffee cups on the table. "What's going on, Mia?" I asked, my voice breaking. She turned to me with tears in her eyes. "I didn't want you to get involved," she whispered. "But Josh, he messed everything up." I felt anger rise in my chest. "What did you do to him?" She shook her head quickly. "It's not me. It's them. I borrowed money last year to pay for my mom's treatment. I thought I could pay it back in time, but the interest kept increasing. Josh said he could help. He pretended to date me to get close to them. But he betrayed me instead. I stared at her, confused. What do you mean, betrayed you? Her tears fell as she spoke. He took the remaining money and ran. Now they think I'm involved with him. They're after both of us. My knees felt weak as I sat down on the couch. Mia knelt in front of me, grabbing my hands tightly. I'm so sorry. I never wanted you to get caught up in this. I swear. Just then, my phone buzzed again. Another message from that unknown number. We have what we need. Goodbye. I looked at Mia with panic, then quickly opened the attached photo. It was Josh, sitting in a car smiling, holding a suitcase full of cash. My chest tightened as realization sank in. He wasn't kidnapped. He was working with them all along. Mia grabbed my phone and stared at the photo, her tears drying as anger filled her face. He played us both, she whispered. I felt my entire body go cold. Everything made sense now, the party, the secret meeting, the threats. But before I could say anything, Mia's phone rang loudly. She picked up, and her face turned pale. She looked at me with eyes wide in fear. They're outside. They want both of us. And in that moment, I realized the nightmare wasn't over. It was just beginning. I felt like I couldn't move. My whole body was frozen with fear as Mia ended the call and grabbed my wrist tightly. We have to go. No, she whispered. My legs felt heavy, but somehow, I followed her as she pulled me towards the back door of my apartment. We slipped into the narrow alley behind the building, the summer night air thick around us. I could hear footsteps and men's voices echoing from the main road. Mia kept looking back, tears still streaming down her cheeks. We walked quickly towards the taxi stand at the corner. My mind was spinning with questions. How did my simple birthday party turn into this nightmare? I trusted Mia all these years, and despite everything, I could see she was just desperate to save herself and her family. As we reached the taxi stand, Mia turned to me, holding my shoulders firmly. I'm so sorry, she said, her voice breaking. If anything happens, promise me you'll go to the police and tell them everything. Before I could reply, a black SUV stopped right in front of us. The door opened, and two men stepped out. My heart stopped. Mia grabbed my hand and whispered, "Run!" But before we could move, one of the men raised his hand. "Wait," he said calmly. "We're not here to hurt you. We just want our money back." Mia shook her head. "I don't have it. Josh took everything." The man sighed deeply, looking tired more than threatening. "We know," he said, then turned to me. "You're not part of this. Go home. Forget everything." My knees almost gave out with relief. The men took Mia with them into the car. As she sat down, she looked back at me one last time with tears in her eyes and mouthed, "Thank you?" I stood there, shaking, watching the SUV drive away. The street felt painfully quiet after they left. When I reached home, I sat on my bed in silence. My phone buzzed again. It was a message from Mia. "I'll be okay. Live your life. And happy birthday again." Tears filled my eyes as I read it. That night, I realized friendships change, secrets destroy trust, and sometimes the people we love make choices that drag us into darkness. But in the end, I also realized I had survived. I was still here, breathing, living, and stronger than before. And that was enough.